What's up, Totem Pole Nation, and welcome to the first episode of the 804 Spotlight. We are joined today by Deuce Edwards, cornerback from Trinity Episcopal School in Richmond, Virginia. Deuce, thank you for being here.
That was good, everybody.
All right, guys. So just a quick little rundown. According to Recruit Certified, he's 6'1", 180, four-star, 155th player in the country, and the 5th-ranked cornerback. He also put down an impressive 4.5 240, which we'll talk about that a little bit later. But without further ado, let's get into Deuce Edwards. All right, brother. Super glad you're here. You guys obviously coming off of a good season. Obviously not the final outcome that you would like, but making it to that point in the season is always a good thing. Coach of the Year and Sam Mickens with y'all, and then also the repeated success over the past few years of you guys producing D1 caliber players. So I guess my first question would be: was Trinity the school of choice, football aside, or did like going to a school like this that is consistent in producing D1 caliber athletes, that's a place that you needed to be?
Well, first, thank you for having me again. And then, well, at first, Trinity, I didn't really know what Trinity was until my cousin, Coach Wally, he told me and my pops about it. And at first, I was going to Verona. I was talking, planning to go to Verona, but, my cousin Zaire was there, my older cousin, Elijah Rayner, he's at William and Mary. One of my boys, Mario Thompson, he was there, and, and it was like, come on. I was like, all right, let's go there. So, I got there, the rest was history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, I know, obviously, but for some of the viewers, just in the past 3 classes, right? 2023, they had Cameron Fleming, Mario Thompson, cornerback, linebacker, both go D1. This year's class, Zaire, like you said, and then Cornell Allen, also both committed to go to D1 schools. And then in your class, you have yourself, obviously, and then Isaiah Robinson, who's already committed to UVA. So really just props to Trinity as a whole for being what seems like a pipeline at this point of getting dogs into D1. So congrats to y'all on that. This is probably a question you get all the time, obviously being someone that people want to talk to, being a highly touted recruit. Who would you say on the defensive side of the ball? Because I know you play both wide receiver and corner. Who would you say defensively that you would draw comparisons to, or maybe try to reflect your game after?
Snap. I would say Jair Alexander. From Packers. It's just his swag. He got the swag. I try to emulate that. And before games, I watch his NFL Top 100 because it's not really just like his highlight reel. It's like the way that he speaks, and when he's on the field, he believes that he's the best player. And he said that if a receiver ever beat him, it's not because a receiver beat him. It's because he did something wrong. And I took that. I was like, yo, that's a good mindset to have. And I was like, I like this dude. So, I try to, watch his tape, see what he does, how he moves, even after, he get, even after he messes up on the field, I try to see how he recovers, and, he's a great cornerback. So.
Awesome. Yeah. And then, with those NFL 100 things, you get to hear what other players think about him as well. And just the amount of respect that he garners in the league is really second to none. So that's a great comparison there. So quick little recap of your season personally, 5 touchdowns on the offensive side, 230 yards. And then, where you're ranked on most sites besides 24/7 corner, which they have you as an athlete, not one of the, duh, that. There's 33 tackles credited to you, 3 interceptions, a pick 6, 14 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. So congrats on a good season. I'm not a scout by any means, all right? So, all right. But I will say that watching the huddle, which is obviously, highlights, you hit hard as hell, right? And there's a few of these sites out here that have you as like 165, 168 or something. There's no way. You're not 165.
Nah, it's I was like, some of that stuff is like old, like back when I was like probably, I can't even remember, like a year or two ago. That's probably some of that stuff is. So I put on some weight, got into the weight room a little bit because I used to hit when I was younger, and sometimes it hurts a little bit. So especially being in high school, guys got bigger, and I ain't like the widest, so you got to have something with you. But
yeah, I hear you. So you said that when you were younger, did you always play on both sides of the ball, or was one of the two positions added later?
Kind of. Okay, look, the way I evolved in football is like crazy weird. Like when I was younger, I started off on the line. I played tackle because I used to be like chunky. I was like fat.
right.
And I was like crazy fat. Well, I didn't say crazy fat, but I won't like. If you would have looked at me younger, it was like you would have like never thought I would have like be a DB. So I was like bigger when I was younger, and then I ended up getting like a little bit faster. So they ended up moving me to like tight end, but I never got the ball though. I was just there for blocking purposes.
Right.
And then I got like a little, like maybe like a tad bit slimmer, so they put me on linebacker. So from like the age of like 10 to like 12, I played linebacker. And then, guys, well, you're not 12, you probably in like the 7th grade. And, from there, guys really start like growing, and, you really start seeing where like guys gonna like start growing and stuff. And I won't getting like no, like, well, I didn't hit a growth spurt. I was like shorter back then. I was like really like short. I was like 5, maybe like 5'3" in like the 7th grade or something like that. But my cousin Z, he was like 5'9" in like the 7th grader already, or like 5'8", 5'6", something. Like he was taller than me. Like guys like that were like, I was shorter, and there was like wasn't a way for me like to play linebacker, because I was too small to play it. So I ended up getting like selected for like this all-star thing in like the summer or something like that, or I ended up playing, and I was like on like scout team for like the team. And one of like the cornerbacks went down. The coach looks at me and he goes, "Hey, I need a cornerback." Looks at the sideline. So I like ran out there, and I got out there, and I was like, "Oh snap!" I was like, "Yo, this type fun," because I was looking at one of my boys on the other side, and I was like, "I'm over there talking trash and stuff. Never played it before though. Like, never played it. I'm just out there talking trash, just having fun with it." And I was like, "Yo, this is way more fun than linebacker," because like I just had to feel for it. And, my pops played he played cornerback at Virginia Union, was an All-American and stuff. And so, I told him about it, he was hyped about it. So from there, I just been working, and then quarantine hit, and that's when I really had a growth spurt for real. Hold on, I got like the thing to show you. Hold up. I've been keeping track of it on my door. So like so like from right here was like start of quarantine. Then I like shot up to like right here. So
God.
So I want to say that's like they got to be about like 6 inches, 8 inches. I didn't grown over quarantine or something like that. And that was like from there to like that was from start of quarantine to 2023 of I meant to February of this year, 2023. So just my growth from there, was just crazy. So like especially when I got into like the 9th grade, I go into 9th grade, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, this is something I want to do. And we just put the work at it, and that was rest is just
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Pops as always, man, as always. So that switching up a little bit to more of like the recruiting side of things. And again, you answer at your own discretion because I don't know rules about stuff. But when I was I'm 23, right? So when I was in high school, all my buddies that were getting recruited to play football, like NIL wasn't a thing, and so I'm not asking about like your personal NIL negotiation talks, whatever that is. I'm more asking as to when coaches are recruiting you, is the emphasis still on like, our academics are great, the campus is beautiful, and our program, our organization is going to get you to where you need to be as a football player. Like what would you say the ratio of those traditional recruiting points are to this brand new or couple years old thing in NIL? Like what's pushed more, you think?
I mean, since I've, the schools I've been to and stuff, and, the people that's, came to talk to me to recruit me, I maybe say like, it's definitely still, talk to us about like the campus, like our education,
Right.
and I say our, but like their education and their, like campus life and how players like it. But more so, it's that. Sometimes, they'll throw in, NIL talks here and there. But they told us. Like a lot of schools tell you. My pops always told me to. It's not like you go to a school not really for like the NIL, because if you go to a school chasing the NIL and it never comes, then you can be cut short, or like they take it away, then you can be short. Also like if you ball, then the NIL gonna come regardless, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's like some schools really told me, but more so I still say it's probably like how our campus life is. They strongly suggest you come to games. If it was like a younger if I had like a younger like set of guys I had to talk to and like tell them like some most like important stuff, I'll tell them go to games, because you're really gonna get to see like coaches like in like game time mode, and how they coach, and how players are, how they interact with each other. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And hey, man, I don't know if I'm sure you did, but Lane was rocking this year, brother. So at those in-house visits, or on-campus visits, I should say, on game weekend, I can only imagine the
I'm mad I
electricity.
didn't get to go to one this year, because I was planning to go to when they played Syracuse. They played them on like a Thursday or something.
Right.
But we play on Saturdays, so we play on Saturdays. So and colleges play on Saturdays, so it was really hard for me to get out the game for real. But the only reason why I didn't go, it's like Tech first, was because like I already been to like one or two. I know I've been to one for sure. I know I seen them play Boston College like last year. So,
Right.
but I might as well just go to one I ain't never been to before. So I went to Clemson and Tennessee, but I was definitely going to go to Syracuse versus Virginia Tech. And like my coach told me, like we was like going, like me, Davion Brown, and I think Isaiah Robinson was going, and Brady Cycles, and we was gonna go, and then we got like news like the day of. It was like, no, we can't go. We gotta go to practice. So they like, so
yeah, well, that's unfortunate. It's whatever. So wrapping up, not much more, but I wanted to give you, like your flowers now with the All Prep League first team DB. That's an accomplishment, right? And that's why guys are, of course, that's why guys are recruiting you, or schools are recruiting you at the level they are, because they know what you can do, and especially playing in the prep league like that, like Benedictine, very similar to Trinity in the fact that they also pump out high level guys and stuff. But I wanted that's not really the focus of what I'm trying to get into. What I wanted to do was, give you your opportunity to kind of, like reflect on the season a little bit, but also, like I am Deuce Edwards, and like, I know you don't need to do that at this point because you have your top five, and it is an impressive top five in that, 2 SEC, 3 ACC. But I wanted, and you don't have to, if you want to, just shout out your teammates or whatever, you could do that. But you are a dog. You run good routes. You hit hard as hell. I know you're going to be a DB, but like you're an athlete, So just the floor is yours to close it out with, reflection or pumping somebody up, pumping yourself up, whatever you choose to do.
Snap. Well, first thing is, like I'll definitely say, wouldn't be no me without the guys on my team. Because there'll definitely been hard times. I struggled before I even got to the point where, I could really go on my own. And, those guys in my corner like Z and Cornell and Jaden and Trey Grant and Brennan Ridley. And, you know, I just came like, you know, Elijah Rayner and Mario Thompson, Cam Fleming, and, you know, everybody else that's on that team. You know, I love them guys. You know, we're actually in the group chat, you know, like we text every day. So, you know, like guys like that, you know, like Coach Mickens and Coach Wally, Coach Timon. You know, I know my dad don't really coach at Trinity, but he be around a lot. So my dad too, you know, cause you know, I don't know, my dad is like a brace, you know, like you need him, like, you know, it's like he's like a brace for you, uh like you know how like a knee brace is, like like a knee brace, like you don't really want to wear it, and you know sometimes you know it really get on your nerves and stuff, and but you know you need it, and you know you fall back to it, and you know and you know whenever it's time to go, like you gotta have it with you, and you know that's what my dad is. So you know anytime I need him, you know he's there. You know sometimes you know of course like you know like any father, you know he gets on your nerves a little bit, and but you know I love him to death. You know I love him. You know my mom. I think you know Coach Rock and Coach Tate, because you know those two and Coach Timon, those have been my trainers since I even started this. You know I started out with Coach Tate, and you know I went to Coach Timon, and then you know right after that I started training with Coach Rock, and Coach Rock put me on the circuit, and you know he put me, you know, took me around, you know, took me to Texas. You know that's where I really got off for. That's why I got like my 10th offer or whatever. And from there, you know, I skyrocketed. I appreciate Coach Rock, everything he done for me. Coach Tate, Coach Timon, you know, man, anytime I need something, you know, I call Coach Timon, you know, for guidance. One of the wisest men I know. Coach Tate, you know, one of the coolest people I know. Man, it's just, I mean, it's just people like, you know, especially, the biggest one, uh, um, thanks to my little brother. He probably doesn't know how much he means to me, but, you know, I see that he always with me, and I keep him with me because, you know, I'm the oldest of my siblings, and I ain't never have a older sibling, you know, to really like, like be upon, you know, like, and really look up to. That's why I look up so much to like Elijah and Z, and, you know, my dog Trey Coles, because, you know, those really were like my brothers, you know, because I'm really like the youngest out of like my whole friend group. So, you know, having guys like that, you know, to really like, you know, keep me grounded and, you know, lead me, you know, just, you know, I see my brother, you know, as me in this instance. And, you know, I really want the main goal is for me to be as great as I can be and my brother be better than me. So I know if I can be the best and if I'm number one and nobody's above me and if my brother become the best, I know he's the best. So, and, you know, of course, you know, I thank God for everything. I thank Yahweh. Thank him for everything, you know, waking me up every morning, giving me a motive to go, giving me just, you know, just like the opportunity to do what I do and be positive each and every day and you know, spread love and never hate. And yeah, that's really it. You know, I just think everybody's in my corner because there wouldn't be no me if it wasn't for them. So.
Absolutely, dude. That was far and beyond what I was expecting out of that. That was a great ass answer there, man. So that Totem Pole Nation is Deuce Edwards. All right. 4-star cornerback out of Trinity. We will see his commitment in the future. Top 5 schools are on his Twitter. You can go and hit that up. It is scrolling in the ticker below, as well as Totem Pole Nation. If you want some cool hats like this, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you need, it's there. It's affordable. Thank you, Deuce, so much for your time.